Are we okay? Cause this camera sometimes is really annoying. Hi guys, I've got to hurry up because I've got to do the school run. Oh, too fake.
Boy, I think I might claim you. Put my number in your phone, nickname you. It's Brianna, if you ain't know my name, like Alicia. Still he told his ex bitch, bye Felicia. Hit Joye and ship you a couple kicks.
But anyway, let's get down to this video. Yesterday's video, we talked about just basically regaining your faith in love and how not to let your bad experiences and situations with people kind of tarnish and kind of blind you to what you really deserve and what you really and truly hope for, and to synchronizing what you think and what you feel together and exercising the law of attraction and not being afraid to say what you want and how you feel. And yeah, I hope yesterday's video covered that. That's sort of a part one, and this is going to be sort of a part two, even though I'm not going to say part one, part two, but I'm talking about the same issues. I'm just going to delve into each video I make is going to go into a bit more of a subject of what I've previously talked about. Bad people. There's nothing worse in this lifetime. There's nothing that can really be detrimental to your future than another human being. You know, people can be wicked, you know. There are some wicked people in this world. So wicked. And I think the most evil type of people are people that act like they're your friends and they're totally not, because they gossip about you. Anything that's bringing you down, it's like they thrive on it. They give you advice, but it's not really advice that is going to better you. It's advice to kind of just make you look stupid, and nothing you can really do. They're not trustworthy people. You can't really confide in them. Gossipers, like, you need to be aware of people like that. People who gossip a lot, who like gossip and like talking about people's business, are people you should really be aware of, because those people definitely will gossip about you no matter how much of a friend you think you are or how long you've known them. That doesn't matter. They just can't ever keep their mouth shut. Anything that's going on with you, they'll be quick to tell someone else, or just quickly, especially people that you don't talk to. Like, those type of people, you need to be careful. And especially if you're in a relationship, or if you're seeing someone, or if you're trying to establish something with someone else, those type of people are the wrong type of people to confide in. Now, that leads into seeing people. There's so much people that intentionally know what they want from you, and they will do what they've got to do and say what they have to say to get what they want. And then when they get what they want, that's when the messages start going a bit slower. That's when the messages become slower, the responses become shorter, and they just totally act like nothing. And you might not even have to have sex with them. Maybe it was just your time that they wanted. And especially if you're on sites and you met them on sites and suddenly you're talking and everything's good, and then after your date or after you meet, even though you've talked about a second date or you've talked about meeting up again, you still see them online. That's really offensive, especially if they're not communicating with you what's going on, and they've led you to think that this could potentially be going somewhere. It's really disrespectful. And there's so much people like that. They're going through that over and over, time and time again. You're dealing with people that you keep giving chances to, is not equating to anything. Then you're confiding in people that you think are your friends, and they are really not. Like, it can become draining, and then you can really and truly naturally get to a point where you're sick and tired of everyone. You're like, you don't really feel like socializing, you don't really know who you can trust, and you don't really believe in love anymore, because every time you're giving yourself to someone, or every time you're trusting someone, they just seem to be proving to you that they're not worthy of even being there. But you don't see it like that. You just see it as like you're doing wrong. You see it as like a punishment, because every time something wrong goes on in our lives, even if the keys are missing or we've missed a train, just why me, God, why me? It always happens. But like, you just can't see it like that, and you need to know that sometimes if things haven't gone the way that you expect or wanted, it literally is just a sign. So if nothing equated to anything more, just take it as a sign that it should not have happened, that maybe it did happen. If you've just found out that someone you've been friends with has just betrayed you, and they've done it over and over again, you've had arguments and you kept forgiving and forgiving and forgiving, and now you don't feel like you can trust them or anything. You should have taken that sign a long time ago. I should have done it a long time ago, because from the first time someone shows you who they are, you should really take that and run with it. Like, you should take it and run with it. If they're not consistent, if someone hasn't got your best interest, you don't need to know someone a whole lot of time for them to have your best interest, you know. Like, you should not be wanting to get to know people or talk to people or befriend people with an agenda. The only agenda you should really have is getting to know someone, you know. That's that. And if people aren't even that genuine into accepting that, and they already have ill intentions, and they already start taking you for granted, they're already unappreciative, and you notice that from the start, then you kind of have your own self to blame if it's persistent and it prolongs a certain time, because you can't keep forgiving things that you know are wrong. Now, forgiveness. If we can all forgive. Me, I just choose, I've learned my lesson years ago now. I can forgive the situation, but I don't know if I would ever forgive the person if I felt betrayed by them. So if I felt betrayed, I would never forgive the person, but I can forgive the situation and put it in the past and be like, whatever. I don't drool over it and whatever. I don't think about it. I don't really care for it. I can still see the person. I don't have any ill feelings towards them, because that's already in the past. But I will never be friends with you. I will never consider you a friend. I'll never really respect you, but I would have an element of respect in the way that I wouldn't be giving you dirty looks. I wouldn't be talking about you. I wouldn't be making snide comments. I would just give you the respect and walk past you like you are nothing. I can be in the same room with you and it's fantastic. Like, I don't really care. I'll probably have more conversation with the wall, and that's just how it is. But a lot of people take forgiveness and feel like just because you forgive someone, you have to talk, you have to go through all of that again. Like, sometimes you just need to forgive the situation and allow it to go. And that's a lot of the thing, that's just with a lot of things in life. I feel like you just need to take things for what they are. This happened, this hurt me, you hurt me, you did this, I allowed that, I did that, I shouldn't have said that, you shouldn't have said this, we shouldn't have done this. And sometimes just take things for what they are and just leave it in the past and move on. And it is literally that easy, because you just have to get your head together and just be like, you know what, am I going to drool over this? How long am I going to be sad about the same thing? How long am I going to be going on about the same thing? How long am I going to be telling the same story? How long am I going to be blaming the same person for all future mistakes? You can't do that. You have to just sometimes just let things be. Like, it's happened, it was what it was, that was a situation, it's done, and move on. You can't take elements of that and take it towards your future, because that's not being wise, that's not being cautious, that is just bringing unnecessary negativity into things that haven't even happened yet, that are going to happen for you, and you're already tarnishing it with something from a negative situation. That's what I mean. Like, just what was in the past was in the past. This is now, and this what will be. Don't go into things with the mentality that, oh yeah, that happened to me, so it's gonna happen. If it happens this time, don't even think about if anything. You just know that if you start to spot signs where you feel like you're being disrespected, or where you feel like someone hasn't got your best interest, then you have to just lock it off and cut it and dead it immediately. That's the only thing that you need to start taking, is when people aren't showing you the respect you deserve, then you just dead it. Then it's done, it's dusted. We don't need to talk about this no more. I don't need to be dealing with you no more. I don't need to be, that's it. If someone doesn't show you what you need, this goes with friends. If you don't feel like people around you that you can confide in or trust as your confidants, that don't have your best interests, that undermine you, that bring negativity, that don't enlift you, don't encourage you, don't motivate you, this goes with everyone in life, then you need to come to a point where you're either going to accept that behavior and tolerate that type of behavior, or you are going to dead it. If you want to better yourself, it really, really helps to have people that have the mentality, or even a stronger one. Even if they're opposite, you can, opposites attract as well, but you need people that really are rooting for you. And no one's stupid. Everyone knows that they've got people around them that are sometimes-ish. You know, if it works on their terms, then they're rooting for you. If they're in a shitty mood, they're not going to be rooting for you. I'm not like that. If I'm still down, like, I'll rather hear about your story. I'd rather encourage you, because then that makes me feel better. There's not many people are like that. A lot of people are for themselves. And because they're for themselves, you need to start learning how to be for yourself and how to have your own best interests at heart, because you can't trust a lot of the people around you, even family members. And that's what I mean, like, if someone doesn't give you the respect you deserve, then let's cut it off. If someone, let them know as well, obviously, but you can only let them know, you can only keep reminding people how to treat you. I mean, I shouldn't need to keep reminding someone that I don't like something, or the way they've treated me, or if I feel disrespected, or I feel like they've betrayed me in some way. I can't keep reminding people when they've done stuff that's wrong. I mean, how many times are you going to keep doing that? How many arguments are you going to have? How much time are you going to keep falling out of people before you, like, get the message that this is something that should just stop? You know? Life already gives you enough problems. Like, you can't have the not be able to trust the people around you, or the people you're seeing, or the people you're talking to. Like, it's too much. So if you don't get what you deserve from someone, then you just have to cut it. And I mean, if you can tell them once and twice, and if they still don't listen, then it's bye. You can't keep wasting precious time, because we don't get that back. And then once it's done, leave it where it is. It's done. Like, that situation happened. Tomorrow's a new day. The next hour is a new hour. The next 10 minutes, a new 10 minutes. So, it's done. Don't take that into the present, because there's bad people everywhere. You don't need to blame yourself for what other people's ill intentions are, because that's just how they are. But one thing you can change is the way people treat you, by what you allow.